because you would have received your O-level results last week. And if you had been watching Channel News Asia, you would have seen this woman who did the utmost best, and then she entrusted God to do the rest. Let's invite Karen and Joelle to share the testimony.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, SB, you're too kind. Yeah, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to share God's faithfulness in my family. And in March 2000, my younger son, Joel, he was then 2 years plus. He was diagnosed to have autism spectrum disorder. The only time I ever heard of this word was actually through the show Rain Man. So I have no idea what ASD is about. At that time, Joel was not talking intelligibly. The only two words he knew how to say was hello and goodbye. And he learned that from this show, Teletubbies. We have tried, to really try our best to teach him to call us, mommy and daddy, and he just was not responding, to what I want him to call me. So it was actually quite devastating when I heard that actually he had ASD. At that time, I remember crying to the Lord for help. I remember committing Joel's education to the Lord, as I knew that he was God's gift to me. You see, when I was studying Jonah I was actually studying Jonah in BSF when I knew I was pregnant with him. At that time, I was just called to leadership. And I felt that I was just running away from my problem. I don't think I can handle leadership as well as my pregnancy together. But God was faithful. Through His study of the Word, I decided to continue. And He saw me through my pregnancy as well as going to BSF. And God was great. He just bring people along to help me. And that's why I named him Joel, because that means God is sovereign. So knowing Joel is God's gift to me helped us tremendously in accepting his ASD condition. We then started him on various therapies. And I just want to share one episode of how we found more about him was that we didn't realize we were actually teaching him the wrong way. He was really ready to learn, but we didn't realize that he was actually a visual learner. So he need visual cues to help him learn. And I remember that time when I showed him my photo, me and my husband's photo, and I point to my photo and I said, "Mommy." And for that moment, he called me Mommy. It was really I really brought tears to my eyes, and to Peter too. They may call Daddy, and he started calling him Daddy. So we didn't realize that that's the way he learned. So from that moment, what we did was we bought concrete objects for him to identify. Like we showed him a cup, cup, and table, pens, and all that. And we find that he was such a quick learner. We progressed to actually pasting words on various furniture around the house, and things that we can lay hands on. We just paste the word there, and we can see he progressed in really great. So that's why And also at that time, I also read books on educating ASD children, and started to attend courses to learn how to teach him. Now, bringing up Joel has actually increased my faith in God, because I see God's faithfulness to him. During those early years, whenever I'm discouraged, I will read and pray Psalm 27 and Psalm 34, and God never failed me. He always encouraged me and lift me out of when I was down. When he reached the age of primary school education, there was a special school for special needs children. It was set up that year. It was called Pathlight, and to me, it's like God's answer to my prayer, like actually building a school for him. And so he managed to go into this school for 1 year for a transition period from special needs to mainstream. And indeed, he went to mainstream with much ease. The first year was actually a breeze for him. However, because of his condition, he was not readily accepted by his classmates. He faced rejection and bullying in school, but God is faithful. He saw Joel through his primary school year again, and we testify that God was good through his results, PSLE score. You know, he got into the school of his choice also for secondary. And also God continued to be faithful to Joel through the 4 years of secondary school education amidst all this rejection and bullying. Last Monday, he received his GCO results, and we want to thank God again, because this time again, clearly through his result, he shows where he can move on, which next step of education he should go. So it has been a tough journey for us, but God is faithful. He was beside us all the way. I want to thank especially Bartley Christian Church, because all the brothers and sisters, your encouragement and your growing Joel up also, if all the teachers have taught him, the acceptance of him has really encouraged him and helped him in his growth too. Yeah, and also I know that God will continue to be faithful to Joel, as he had promised never to leave him or forsake him. I want to end with Isaiah 55 verse 8 and 9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. These verses have been a constant reminder to me that God is sovereign, and I can trust Him completely. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Mom. Good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am Joel Lee, age 17, and I've just finished my O-levels and now awaiting my posting to a JC. Today, I will be sharing God's goodness through my life. I don't remember much from my early years from birth, so I will be sharing my journey with God through primary and secondary school. As my mom said, my starting years in my new primary school were tough. At that time, I didn't even know I had autism spectrum disorder. My classmates couldn't accept me, and I was ostracized by them. By the time I found out my condition in primary 5, the bullying situation just became worse. My teachers were oblivious to my call for help, as my new classmates taunted me. However, as I reflect back, I thank God for guiding me through those years, as I managed to survive primary school. The start of my faith was at age 11, when my mom guided me through the sinner's prayer. I thank God also for giving me patience, self-control, and most importantly, endurance through those years. As my PSLE aggregate put me in my dream school, Zhonghua, I was elated to arrive there. However, the journey had not been easy. As my classmates again did not accept me the way I was, I ended up getting bullied even more. The worst part was in 2012, when I was suspended from school for a day for my lack of self-control. However, through God's grace, I learned to move on and develop more self-control. The true call to the faith was during Frontline Youth Service in February, when a sermon on Back to Basics was given, and one of the topics was on baptism. I remember the speaker saying something about it being the declaration of your God, and truly, looking at all the past events, He is my God. So I was moved to be baptized on 8th April after a talk with Youth Director Kevin. There are two verses that really comforted me throughout my life. Proverbs 8:38-39, knowing that nothing, absolutely nothing can separate me from the love of God that's in Christ Jesus my Lord. It just reminds me every day that He's always there for me. Joining Boys Brigade as a CCA has also benefited me in my walk with God. The teachers and sisters there were very understanding of my condition, and the Bible lessons given have taught me to be mature and increase my discipline, self-control, and forgiveness towards others. Most of all, God has given me amazing results in my O-levels, which now allows me to apply for my dream JC. I look back and think of James 4:6, saying that God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble. I committed my exam grades to His will, and He has definitely done the rest. Overall, I've looked at what God has done with my life. He has really taught me how to be patient, self-control, be disciplined, and definitely forgiving to those who have pretty much made me the way I am. I don't know. But He has brought me through many trials and tribulations, and I know He will be with me always. Now, I worship Him with thanksgiving. We live by faith, not by sight. Thank you.
You know, I'm so proud of Joel because unknown to you, he is the suitable champion of all the Singapore schools when he was in the primary school, right? Secondary school. And when he won the prize, it was like brand's essence of chicken. And he gave me all his brand's essence of chicken. Do your utmost best and let God do the rest. And today we are talking